Yes, you can start sharing your screen. Sorry, you can turn on your camera. Hi, Ashmin. Welcome. Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm
Are
fine.
you excited to begin? Or are you sleepy?
I'm sleepy.
Sleepy. Oh no. Even I too am super sleepy actually. Last night I was up till about 4 o'clock in the morning, which is very bad. You guys shouldn't do that, okay?
Doing
But,
what?
sorry?
Doing what?
Oh man, so I got carried away. I was trying to prepare for today's session, and then I got carried away with the designs, and I was doing a whole bunch of referencing and so I have a whole lot of things to share from that whole process, right, with you guys for Brobot, for this robot thing that we're doing. So I had a whole lot of fun. I'll show you some of the explorations. Um, some of it, actually, a lot of it, I just kind of canned. By canned, I mean I just threw it out. One second, huh? Hey, Moana. Good the mornings. Welcome to the call. Hi, Darshana. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hey, good
I
morning.
could only I could only do the cuts to the first robot.
No problem. Whatever you have done, good. Okay. We'll begin from wherever you have left off. All right.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Okay, today is going to be more workshop. We're going to be working more than listening to me. At least I hope it's going to be that way. All right. There will be some talking from my end, but of course. So we shall wait. I think Austin is not going to join us today. And where is Pratyush? Okay, so today I'm going to start on time. Let people join in. I'm just going to ask him to. Once again, yaar, why do I keep forgetting? We are Austin, Pratyush, and you three, right? So we have five, right? Is there anyone else? Yeah. Okay.
and Avish.
Avish today is at his granny's place, so he he's not here today, right? Yesterday also he kind of got bored. He's like, I know all of this. I don't want to be here and all of that. Anyways, um, okay, guys. So welcome to session number 5 of the Blender Kids Level 2 workshop. All right, and so we are exploring and looking at concepts that are far beyond, okay, what 12, 13, 14-year olds should be doing, right? Should be doing means, this is kind of taught to older kids, as I always say, right? But you guys are doing very well, okay? And I think that younger kids like you should know these things, and you should start exploring these things because these are foundational. So what I mean by foundational is that they apply what we've been talking about, like shapes and forms and exploration of this way. They are foundational. They apply whether you use Blender or any other software or any discipline, right? Be it architecture or character modeling or animation or game design. What we've been talking about so far in the past 4 sessions has been foundational. And now, one question I want to ask you: while exploring and experimenting, I know you've been having some fun, right? But are you finding it a little difficult to comprehend what I'm saying and trying to do what I'm asking you to do?
No.
No, Divyan. Okay, Moana, a little bit. Yeah, little bit. Yes, Ashmin. How are you finding it a little difficult to kind of do those shape experiments, put those shapes
Yeah.
together? Yeah. Are you finding
Yeah.
it repetitive or not as interesting maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
All right, got it. And so, if it's a little difficult, or if it takes a little practice, know this, okay, that it is foundational, because generally foundational things are difficult to do. It's easier to follow a tutorial where press this button, extrude this, increase the size of this, and you have this final product, right? Where it becomes difficult is where you have to apply your brain, think for yourself, and create something out of nothing. And that's what you're doing right now, right? I haven't given you a model to copy. Like in the last level, in level 1, I gave you a spaceship. You knew how to create the spaceship. Now, Divyan, you don't know it, but I showed you the spaceship. You could see the spaceship and you could copy the spaceship, right? And you could see it, break it, and build. But the change part is where we kind of struggle, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that, and we'll get into that. So first, let's start with seeing your work. Okay, so let's see what kind of detail you've added since yesterday to now. So quickly, let's go around the room. I'll start with Ashmin. Ashmin, share your whatever you've done. Don't worry about it. Whatever you've done, wherever it is.
I did like nothing. I did like nothing.
Okay, so just for our purpose here, just share the screen once and show me at what level it is, right?
Okay.
Yes. All right. Yes, this is what I wanted to see. All right. So, Ashmin, one of the limitations you have not considered is you've added limbs, right? You've added arms and legs, right? So that became your detail. Now, we want to avoid that, okay? Because see, our goal in the remaining today's session and the remaining 3 sessions is going to be taking this model to a complete animation, right? And so when you bring in limbs right now, legs and hands, we are, it's going to get a little tricky to animate, right? So I was going to tell you this yesterday when I saw it. So you want to kind of drop the limbs, okay? That is part of our limitations, remember? Yeah. So part of our design brief or this thing is to not have limbs, okay? Because that increases complexity. Although I like the way you've approached it, but we want to avoid that, okay? So when you strip that off, you can see here your model is pretty plain right now. It has the basic shapes that you decided, which is your robot, his torso, and the jetpack, right? But there isn't, you haven't built it little anymore. So we are going to do some of that work today, okay, in this class. I'll give you some time to do that. Okay, cool. So thanks for sharing, Ashmin. Let's go to Divyan. All right, Divyan. So that was my feedback for you, okay, Ashmin, right now, okay? Go ahead, Divyan.
Can you see it?
Yes, let me see. Oh, okay, you have a Sukhoi or something. Yeah. All right. Here we have, yes, we can see this, and you had done some other designs, right, where the arms are turning around and all. So that gives some function in terms of,
This
okay,
is the Yeah, so this is the one. So if I just rotate these by 180,
correct.
so now from the bottom it looks like these are also jet boosters.
Right.
So this is some function here.
Yes. That's right. So there is some function, there is something else that you can do with it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now my only gripe with this design is that his head still looks like R2D2, right? So you want to think about it this way, right? That anyone who sees this design, they're going to say, hey, this is R2D2, right? They're not going to say this is inspired by R2D2. They're going to say this is R2D2 because it looks still in that space, right? So I would say the head is something you want to alter, right? Maybe go with another shape.
In terms of model or in the texturing?
The texturing specifically, the eye, so a singular piece and those blue dots, right? So all of that is very reminiscent of R2D2, right? And so the goal with this, see, it's straight up R2D2, right? And also see, you have the arms, which are kind of arranged like R2D2s, okay? So that is fine. Maybe the arms are fine, but the head now looks very much like R2D2, right? So you want to change those colors, and you want to change the orientation of his eyes, maybe have some other object coming out which has the eyes on it, right? Experiment with that, right? So now this is what I meant by, you might notice that you are kind of unable to go beyond the reference, right? Like, see, the reference is R2D2. I can see that the head is very similar to to R2D2, right? Now, it's not a good thing or a bad thing, and I'm not saying that, hey, why are you doing this? I'm saying that it's part of this process where we're doing this foundational work, where we're looking at references and trying to build from that. And in this learning process, what happens is we end up doing a little more copying than changing, right? And that's what you want to keep in mind about, right? As you're taking references, you're only taking inspiration. You're stealing shapes, you're stealing and you're mixing and matching in a way that what you arrive at is completely unique. No one's seen that, That's the goal. Now, of course, sometimes that goal can become, oh, hey, my design is not good, it's not unique enough. I'm not saying that, right? And this is practice. This practice will bring you to a space where you understand, oh, I've stolen shapes from here, and now this is looking unique, and your own eye will say that. So right now, are you with me here? Can you see that the head is very close to R2D2? Yeah. Yes, Divyan, you're on mute. Okay, so I would say if you want to maintain this half sphere head, then definitely you can maintain it. But remove the marking like this, the blue marking, and the eye definitely. It's like a single eye there, like a lens is like straight up gives away the R2D2 vibes, right? So you want to move away from that, because as creators, we want to take inspiration. We don't want to copy. We want to practice the process of taking inspiration and mixing and matching designs and arriving at something unique, right? And that's our goal. Now we can steal stuff, that's no problem, but how you steal, what you pick, how you put them together, that is the practice, right? So here I would say you want to change that. I don't mind the arms being reminiscent of R2D2 because it's inspired, if the body looks different, but you can change the head and the eyes. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe add 2 eyes because you're looking for a cute robot. Maybe add 2 eyes. I don't know. Maybe add 3 eyes. Maybe add a screen on it, right? And when you experiment with that, you will realize, oh, if I just do this, the whole thing changes, right? So go ahead and try that. We'll do that today. Okay. I'm going to give you time to do that. All right. Go ahead, Moana. Thanks, Divyan.
One.
Okay, Moana, I think your robot also has some limbs. Okay, can you show me? Okay, you've done some extrude and okay, you made his like he's like a battle robot now. He has a helmet with all that
He looks like he's
spikes.
wearing one of those, Chinese old the war helmets.
Yes, that it's like the Shaolin helmets or
Yes.
something like that, right? All right, I like this. Okay, interesting. You've experimented with adding loops, subdividing, and then extruding those faces, right? Okay, good job, Moana. But again, I would say remove the arms. Okay, we want to see. Don't remove them. You hide them. Okay, so select them and press H. Okay,
And even I also did loop cuts in that.
in the face, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So now you know how to loop cut. Now you know how to add multiple loops. Correct? Yeah. Perfect. And you know how to move the loops around, right? Did you do the edge slide as well? Very good. Very good. So all of this is going to come to use as we move forward, right? Okay. Good job. Okay. I would just say select your arms and hide them. Press H. We want to avoid the arms for now, right? Okay. And then you can add some more detail. We'll talk about it right now. We'll
So
talk.
can I just delete the hands and put something like a wheel or something over there?
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You can delete the arms, put a jetpack, or put some, I don't know, put some shapes. Experiment, right? And we are going to do some of that work today. Okay, you're going to do that. But first, let's begin by pulling out your papers. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen and start following the exercise of warming up. Okay, with me. All right. One second, huh? New 2D animation. Okay, we are going to. Mona, can you please go on mute?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let me share my screen. All right. Okay, everyone with me here? All right. So, here we have my blender. All of you pull out your papers too with your pencils. And as we start doing our exercise of warming up, okay, our ritual of warming up, let's align our minds to the creative state, the creation state where we are creating. So I'm creating some circles and I'm keeping an focus on my arm, ensuring that I'm holding my pencil away from the tip, right, like this. Okay, you can see in my webcam, and I'm using my whole arm. I'll just pull my camera down so you can see how I'm moving my arm to make my circles, right? And I'm also focusing on trying to get those circles right. You might not be getting your circles exactly like this, but the focus should be to try and get that, right? And after one point, it should feel like your arm is doing it. You aren't doing it, right? Your arm is just going and making these circles, right? It's not your mind, it's just your arm. So we are building memory. You know what memory? We are building something called muscle memory, right? So all your muscles in your body, not just your brain, has memory, right? So like things that you learn, say for example, you ride a cycle, right? When you ride a cycle, it becomes muscle memory. That balance goes into your muscle. And whenever you sit
Playing
on,
an instrument.
sorry, Divyan?
Playing an instrument.
Playing an instrument, yes, playing an instrument, very, very well said, right? They all become muscle memory. And so is drawing and creation like this. It's a muscle memory, right? And with this exercise, although it seems so simple, you know, as you do it, I've been doing this exercise for years now, almost about 20 years now. And now I really know the importance of this, right? And it allows me to kind of actually, become stress free as well. I'm just drawing circles. See, I haven't come to lines as well. I'm just drawing circles. I'm enjoying that process, getting my shoulder to move, getting my, arms to move. Now I'm going to draw something big, yeah, big circle, right? Get my whole arm, whole hand, and see how the circles are coming out. All right, so as I'm doing this, let me talk a little bit about, oops, my machine hung. Keep doing your circles, and I'm going to be talking to you, right? Keep doing your circles, and you could go into ovals also if you like. Okay, so you can do ovals and do some other shapes. So as I was saying, I want to talk to you about the brief that we have. So we had a brief that is create a cute robot and create and had some limitations to it. Okay, so let me give you some background about it so that we can build what we want to build next. Okay, so let me start with what we want to build next. Our goal is to use our robot, okay, and create a small simple environment, okay, and place that robot in that environment, and then do some basic animation. Now all of you have different robots, correct? All of you have designed your own robot, so there is no specific thing that we have to do, right? It's not like the spaceship animation where I showed you, oh, we are going to use the spaceship and we're going to fly through this land. It's unique. What you are going to do is going to be completely unique, and therefore we have to have some more limitations, right? We have to have some more constraints. So let me give you some background about the robot. So this robot, one second, I'm just gonna edit mode and delete all of this and start again, right? Now I'm going to do some straight lines, okay? So this robot actually started as a joke with my daughter Anika, and she would see us, me and my wife, working at home doing all kinds of cleaning and all kinds of things, and she would say, "Papa, I'm going to make a robot." Okay, so I said, what robot is that? I'm going to make a robot that will help you do all of this work, clean, okay, fix things in the house, okay, so that you are not so tired and you don't get you can chill. Okay, so this is what she used to say. And so she would keep describing this robot, what this robot does, this, that, and the other. So one day, and she would say that I'm going to make it with cardboard. So one day we sat down and we made a cardboard robot. Okay, and so this is what Brobot was. Let me show you here. So can you see this? Can you see this, guys? Okay, so this is a kind of creative process, right? Divyan, is your camera on? No, it's not on. So I'm showing you a prototype here. Can you see this, guys? Yeah. So we kind of put this on a car, and it had a head, and then it had hands, and so she called this Brobot. And so I thought, wow, this whole process of creating this character was really interesting, and I thought that, this will be great for level 2, right? And that's how it became the theme of our creation here in level 2, right? So what is Brobot? Brobot is a helper robot. Okay, so let's update the brief, okay, for our cute robot, and let's now begin to look at functionality, right? And let's add some more dimension to that robot, and then let's build from there. Okay, so what is the brief? The brief was make a cute robot, avoid limbs, and avoid curved shapes, right? So those still remain. But now let's develop the further character. Now, if you have to think of an environment, if you have to think of, you have to think more deeply about your character, right? And this is called, character development, right? It's not just drawing a character, it's not just building a character, right? It's called character development, where you have to think about what this character is, who is he, what does he do, why does he do it, right? Where is he from? Questions like these, right? And questions like these, if you answer them, okay, it allows you to design the character further. Okay, so let's kind of, so are you guys done with your circles? Are you feeling warm enough? Yeah, is your mind kind of in that creative space? All right, so good job. So now with your piece of paper and your this thing with your pencil, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then you want to answer those questions and write it down for yourself, right? So write it down for your robot. So 1 second. Let me check this out. Where did it go? I had a list of questions. Yes, Moana.
Can we write it in our notebooks?
Idea it in your notebooks. Yes, you have to write it in your notebook only. Yes. Okay. So if we were to think of Brobot, okay, as a group of robots, all of your robots are joining this universe. This universe is Brobots as robots that help people, right? And so and it's like a team, like have you seen Paw Patrol, right? You might have heard of Paw Patrol, right? So there's a team of these different dogs. Each one of them has a personality, and each one of them has a certain job in that team, right? Someone rescues, someone flies, someone does that, right? And so something like that, okay? Brobot is a bunch of robots that help. So now you have to choose. So the questions, you can write down these questions, okay? Who does your Brobot help? Okay? Where is it? Okay, or what does he do? Okay, you can write these 3 questions down. Who does your Brobot help? Okay, where does he help them? Okay, and what does he do? Now this can be as simple as he's a cleaning robot. So where he's in the house and he's cleaning the house, right? Or he's a medical robot, right? And he's helping someone, or he's a fixer robot. Okay, so he's fixing something, right? So he's in a garage and he's fixing something, right? Or he's a care robot. He is just taking care of stuff. So he's like probably just putting water in a plant, right? So he has this arm, or not an arm, or he has something that comes out of his body that pours water on a plant, right? So if you look at what I'm talking about, it's giving me ideas of what this robot is doing, which allows me to think about, okay, what are the details I need to add? Like if he's going to water, yeah?
Can you just tell the other 2 questions?
Yeah, so where is he? Okay, who does your robot help? Where is he? Okay, and what does he do, right? Okay, so where is he answers the question of where, in which environment he is. So this allows you to imagine the environment, imagine the space he's in, okay, so that we can begin to place our robot and begin to block out an environment, right, and think of it, right? So for example, if he's watering a plant, so maybe he's in a small terrace garden, or a garden, and there are pots.
Where is he and
Where is he and what does he do, right? These are the 3 questions. Okay, who does your Brobot help? Where is he or she? Okay, and what does he do? Okay, and so this what does he do can answer a whole lot of questions. Like if he's a cleaner robot, he cleans toys in the room, so maybe his body has a big drawer and all the toys goes into that drawer itself, right? Like he's like a moving drawer. So let me just show you. Okay, let me just take a look. So here, okay, so these are the bunch of robot designs that I've come up with. Now you can see I've used the same head, right? So they are like from the same family, but I've changed the body shape. See, here we have this guy. Okay, all basic shapes, nothing complicated. Okay, and he's got chotu wheels. Now here we have this guy. This guy could be, these are drawers maybe, GY. These drawers can have an extrusion inside, so it can carry stuff. GY. He's also got like a thing at the back. 1 second, huh? Yeah, he's got this pickup thing at the back, so he can pick things up, right? Then this guy could be a, I don't know, a helper robot or a care robot, because he can change his position. And then here you can see I've experimented with a different proportion to make him cuter. See, he's taller here. Here he's shorter and cuter, right? And so what I'm getting at here is that as I'm making these robots and adding things, I'm thinking about what are their function, who's what, who's doing what, okay, what is their environment, and I kind of define this at the top level, right? So that's the brief, right? That's the limitation. The top level is that your robot is a brobot and he helps people. He's not a fighting robot, he's not a scientific robot, he is a helper robot. And how does he help? What does he do, right? So this is to put limitations on what we can think, right? Like I said, creativity arises in constraints. When you have constraints, you become, your output becomes more and more creative, because you have to work with only that much, right? So now take a moment, okay? And so two things, okay? One thing is that you have a choice here, okay, to pick up this design, okay, like a head like this, and build a character on these lines, right? You have a choice. Or you can take the robot that you have, okay, and start thinking of what, who this robot helps, where is he, and what he does, okay, and start ideating right now. Let's do it right now, okay? So begin, and so write the answers. So begin by writing the answers to these questions, and then I'll come around the room, and then we'll start doing some rough drawings and some ideation of the environment and how this character and all of that. And while you're answering these questions, think about it. Do you want to pick one of these guys, okay, in terms of like just the head? So you can take this head design and then build whatever character using blocks like these. Do you want to do that, or you want to develop your own character? Not a problem. Whichever way you want to go, we'll go that way.
Our own character.
Your own character. Okay, good. Okay, good. Right. So go ahead and answer this question. Okay, these three questions. Who does your robot help? Where is he? And what does he do? Right? Do you have your answers already ready, or have you thought about it? Okay, take a moment and tell me when you're ready, right? Till then, let me just set something up. Take a moment and think about it. So, so you might find this, these things aren't as obvious, right? It takes a little thinking, and generally, as we in today's day and age, I'm sure you guys have followed some tutorials, and you've followed some YouTube tutorials here and there. So we kind of get used to following step by step, right? And we kind of get paralyzed, or we don't know what to do when we are given the constraints, and then we have to work with those constraints, right? And because you haven't done it enough, right? And as you do it more and more, you begin to understand how to do it more quickly and enjoy the process, right? And so so these questions may be very open-ended, like, who does your robot help? Like, how do you answer that question? Like, so this is kind of world building. What we're actually doing is world building. We're creating a world, creating characters in that world, trying to figure out what are the rules of that world, how do things look in that world, right? And so we are actually world building. It's a pretty advanced concept, right? So let's go ahead around the room and see what are the answers you have for who your robot is, right? So who'd like to go? Moana? Would you like to go? Or Divyan? Would you like?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes.
So the first question was, who does your robot help?
Yes.
So my robot helps the astronauts in the space.
Arey wow. Oh God, that's a
Very-
great one. Great one, robot help. Right. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, so he helps
Where?
astronauts. Right?
Hmm.
Awesome. I love that idea. Okay.
And
And
where is he?
where is he?
He's in the space.
He's in space. Okay. So the next question is, oops. The next question is, where is he? Right? Yeah. So one second. Edit mode. A G Z. Yeah. G Z. Okay. So where is he? He's in space, right? Okay. And what does he do?
What does he do? He helps the astronaut to discover new things.
Okay, so he's like an explorer robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exploring. That's what he does, right? And helps exploring, right? Okay, great, awesome. Okay, who else would like to go? Very clear, huh, Moana? Very clear. You've answered these questions. So can you see, as soon as you answered these questions, some ideas started coming, right? You placed the robot next to an astronaut. You placed him in space, right? And for all of us as well, while you answered the questions, we also started kind of imagining a robot, and maybe all of us saw your robot. So I started imagining your particular robot somewhere in space, right? Something. Did any of you also kind of imagine slightly when she mentioned it? Yeah, did you have a thought like that, right? And so that is the
I thought
fun.
it
Sorry.
I thought it would be like C3PO.
Right, exactly. To me also the first thing came that this is like R2D2 or one of these droids, right? That helps astronauts or pilots, right? And so see her answering this question immediately kicked up some ideas for all of us, right? And that's what the function of this kind of limitations are, these kind of constraints are, right? They immediately set off a thought process, right? They immediately put you in a direction, and you need to learn, you need to identify this kind of thing that happens, right? When a limitation puts, and immediately some thoughts start coming in your head, right? And this is what you want to apply to other creative things that you do in your life, right? Wherever you feel stuck, right? Wherever you're doing something, right? It's this thing, this ability of your brain where a suggestion, right, creates ideas. Like she answered a question that was a suggestion to you. It's like a prompt, right? And the prompt got ideas for you, right? Did that happen to you, Ashmin? As soon as she talked about her robot, right? As you were listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did imagine something, right? So go ahead now, you guys. I want your answers. So who does your robot help, Divyan?
I could not decide, so I came up with two robots.
Okay.
The robot and robot V2.
Okay.
So the first one, he's pretty simple. Based on R2D2, he's a housekeeper.
Housekeeper.
He works in the house and he just vacuums.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I knew I could make something of the art with the R2D2 body for
Right.
vacuum. Yeah, but the other one, which in my opinion is cooler,
Ah,
he is based on the R2D2, but I will modify his body.
his head,
He
more
help-
importantly.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, his head. So he just helps pilots, helps in either spaceship or the aircraft,
Right.
and he flies.
So he's also an astronaut support, and the other guy is a cleaner kind of guy, right? So where is your first robot?
So my first robot, he works in the house. He's
Huh.
a housekeeper, cleaner.
Right. So he's in the house, right? Because he's helping around the house. So you said one very important thing. Very good. Okay, Divyan, very good. The other guy is in space, right? For sure, because he's a astronaut support, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Or he's in a spaceship or something like that.
Yeah, spaceship.
Okay, so we can say spaceship, right? Not just space, right? He's inside a spaceship. All right. And what does he do, the spaceship guy?
He flies the aircraft. He's a pilot.
He is a pilot, right? So he's the pilot of the spaceship. Perfect, very good. Okay, so you got two thought processes, right? And I already got a whole bunch of ideas, right? I've already got, so I'm not going to tell you, of course. I want you also to think about it, and I'll share it with you. But you said something very important, right? And you want to think about it, right? So you said he's a cleaner, okay? So he helps cleaning, right? Very clear. He's at home, okay? So he helps cleaning around the house. And you said he vacuums. Now, see, this whole process led to your robot has to have a vacuum cleaner on him. That's an asset that he has, or that's a prop that he has. So that informs your design, you see, right?
Yes.
And you see, answering these questions develops your character's personality, what he does, where he's from, what he's doing, who is he helping. This informs your design as well. Like right now you said vacuum, so he's definitely going to have some vacuum cleaner coming out of his body, or and so the image that we are imagining is he's in a room and he's vacuuming, as simple as that. And your animation is this guy in the room just vacuuming, right? As simple as that, right? And so that's one idea. Another idea, you can think about more ideas like that, right? And so just answering these questions gave function to your robot, right? Okay, so let's go to Ashmin. Good job, Divyan, right? Let's go to Ashmin. Ashmin, what does your robot, your brobot help with?
So my robot like helps the fire department or the government. Like he like does a search and rescue and stuff. Like he can
Ah,
fly around.
right. So he's a fire bot. Basically, he's a firefighter, right?
Not a firefighter technically. He can use like thermal imaging and shit to find people
So he's a
who are like
rescue
stuck
bot.
somewhere. Yeah, rescue bot.
So he's a rescue bot. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting, interesting. And see, as you're changing, as I asked the question and I said firefighter. When I said firefighter, all of you must have imagined a firefighting robot, right? For a moment, that thought must have come to you, right? And then she said, not exactly firefighter, but a rescue bot. And she said thermal imaging and all of that. I'm sure as she is saying that in real time, your thoughts also changed. Did that happen for you guys? Yes, that happened, right? In the eye of your mind, you're imagining something, and that keeps shifting and changing as people talk, right?
In
As
Star
ideas
Wars,
come.
in
Yes,
Star
Divyan?
Wars, this would be closer to the BB-8 because he's small, he's agile, he can move through spaces.
Right, right. As a rescue robot, right? Right. Okay, so good job. Okay, Ashmin. Let's look at the next thing. So where is he?
So I
Okay.
thought he would be like in a city after an earthquake because he's like finding people, right?
Ah, right. So there is some kind of
Destroyed
disaster that
city.
has happened.
Yeah,
So and he is helping with search and rescue, right?
yeah.
Disaster search and rescue, right? Okay. And what is he doing? What does he do? Like,
He basically just finds people. Prob Sometimes they might be dead bodies because it's like a disaster
oh
search
my,
and rescue.
right,
Sometimes it might be like live people.
right, right. Okay. So let's try to. So now think now bring a little more focused thinking, right? Imagine imagine he's a rescue robot, right? And imagine we're making this like we try, these questions are intended to allow you to create ideas for one image. What I mean by one image is that there's an environment and there's this robot, right? And what do images actually do? What do we do with images? Like when you made the spaceship animation, what are we doing with that? We make, so this is very philosophical, okay, all of you guys, but listen to me and hang in and tell me if you don't understand, right? So, what is the goal of making visual art? The goal of making visual art is to share your thoughts with a large audience, right? And that is not the goal actually. The goal is actually communicating with that audience. You might not meet those people who see your work, but you are communicating something to them, right? And every image, every animation, everything you do, like right now, we are talking about this backstory that communicates something. So when you create an image with these guys doing something, that image, when someone sees it, they're going to be able to tell a story. They're going to be able to see what's happening here, right? And communicate a story. So let me show you the best example of this, okay? So I love Lego. All of you love Lego? How many of you love Lego? Yeah. And how many of you love the Lego catalogs, right? Where you have the catalog and you see all the sets that they have, right? And so the great thing is that you go on to Google and you can search
When I
for.
look at it, I wish I could buy all of them.
Yeah, I know. Same here, right? And the best part is you can just go online and you can search for any year catalog, okay? So, of course, I was a kid back in the 90s, okay? And so my favorite time of Lego was 1995. Okay, that's really long ago. I know for you guys, you might be thinking a 30-year-old thing. Okay, but here, take a look at this. Okay, so I just searched on Google Lego catalog 1995, and you will find it like this. See, catalog Lego 1995. I just searched that, right? And I found something. There's a website called Internet Archive that archives almost everything, right? And it's all free. So I found this, and so this is a catalog, and every catalog is like this, okay? But this is back from the day. Now look at this, okay? Look at these images. Every image has a story. you know if you look closely, it's you can see that there's activity, there's something. Even though there's no background, you kind of get a sense of what's happening there, right? Let me take you to something more. Yeah, you see this here? Look at these setups. Can I zoom in? Like here, okay, they've just simply put one environment. Okay, so you have water, okay, and then there's this tent, and now this guy is in the boat, and he looks like he's paddling, right? And he looks like he's paddling away from this shark, because the shark is coming with his mouth open, right? Can you see my screen? You can, right? Yeah. And so there is, like, okay, look at this, how they place this. These guys are standing next to a treasure trove. It's that simple. It's just a blue background, but they're not just standing straight, just facing the camera. They are turned around. One guy has his arm a little raised, okay, and the other guy is facing the camera, right? There is, in just subtle positioning also, there is a little story, because you know what, our human minds are designed to pick up on stories, right? We pick up on stories, we look at things, and we start weaving stories, right? That's how our brain is wired, right? And so even a simple suggestion leads to a story, and that is the power of art. Like, these are product images, but this is also art in one sense, right? You can see that these are like these comic panels, telling a little story in each of these panels. Okay, let's zoom out one second. I'm going to zoom out. Are you with me so far? Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so you want to think about, so here, look at this. Now this is a underwater kind of thing. So here they've just put a underwater feel. You have some rocks in the background, and then they've placed their stuff. So you're telling a story here, right? They're telling a story. You're seeing, you're seeing certain things, like there is this submarine kind of thing. These two guys are here, right? And there is some kind of, like, they look like explorers. They're exploring underwater, right? And so these are the kind of things you want to kind of think about. Now I'll show you some other things as well. One second. Yeah, I was also, so now this is for ideation purpose, like looking at, and getting some ideas. And now, since we are making blocky kind of environments, these are some of the references that you can look at. Like, see, Minecraft is a great example for environments just made with blocks, right? It just blocks. See, this is a kitchen environment. So you could imagine your cleaner robot is in this kitchen, right? And he's cleaning something here. He's, there's some crap lying on the floor, right? And see, there's a simple kitchen scene, right?
Yeah.
Here you have like a cozy, living room scene, right?
Even a even a space background.
Space background in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Space background is a lot easier, actually. We'll come to that. So right now, okay, the remaining time that we have, I've shown you some ideas of how an image, you put some characters and put an environment, and that's what we want to do, right? So what we're going to do first is, okay, I want you to start creating some thumbnails, and we're going to do that right now. Okay, so what I mean by a thumbnail, again, it is a pre-production process. Okay, so 2D animation, don't save. All right, so you can start by just drawing on your paper, drawing a frame. Okay, so this is the frame in which your image is. Okay, and say I want my robot. So my robot is here. It's this simple. Okay, and he's a cleaning robot. So he has a vacuum cleaner. and there's some crap on the floor, and he is in a, there's a table here, and maybe there's a window here, and there's a shelf or maybe a door here. Can you see? I've made a very simple side view kind of idea with a window. Okay, so window is like that maybe, and there's a table here, and maybe there's a drawer, and maybe there's something on top of it like a vase or something, right? So now to build this, what are the things I need? Very simple. I just need to make a plane. So this is the wall. I just need to make a plane for the ground, right? And then my robot is somewhere here. Now, of course, I'm drawing in 3D. You may not be able to do that, but that's a practice. So he's somewhere here, right? And then you have a table here. Now you know how to model a table. And you have a window here. And you can also figure out how to model a window, right? And he is vacuuming, and there's some crap. You could put some cubes and squares and that kind of thing, right? So see, just with this idea of a cleaner robot, I have answered, okay, what is he doing? He's vacuuming. Where is he? He's in the room. Who is he? He is a cleaner robot, right? And so this is kind of a simplified way of ideation, right? Simplified way of ideation. Now let me just demonstrate something else. Okay, so A, G. Now say, you have a spaceship. Okay, so now I'm doing something now. I know when I demonstrate something, you might feel like sticking to that idea, right? But remember, even I'm just throwing out ideas. These are not set in stone, right? So you also want to get into that habit of throwing ideas, trying something, right? And not trying to just take something that that you got, right? Like right now, some idea I got. Don't try to stick to that. Try to move away from it, or try to create something, right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't follow what I'm saying. You can if you like, if you really think that that's working for you, right? But you get what I'm saying, right? All of you, am I communicating, or am I communicating? Yeah. Okay. So now when you say spaceship, right? To me, like, and Divyan might be able to relate to this. As soon as spaceship robot came in my head, we've made a spaceship in our last video, right? And so that came to my mind. How about we use that model, right? So Moana, you have a spaceship robot. Your robot is like one wheel and one body and then one face, right? And imagine he is on a spaceship. So this is like a line, and he's on a large spaceship. Okay, so and his spaceship is landed here only. Okay, so this is your spaceship from the first tutorial, right? This is a side view of that spaceship with the cockpit. Okay, and he's trying to go inside. So there's a ramp maybe. Okay, and maybe there are wheels for the spaceship. And so he's going inside that. So now, and he's inside this large spaceship, so there could be a window here. So this spaceship actually exits from that window. Now let me draw this clearly.
No. My idea was like I want to just show that robot and some astronauts.
That's also cool. That's also
and just
cool.
on a planet, on a different planet.
Wonderful. That's also a great idea. So you have a this kind of this on another planet. There are some craters on the planet. Okay, and your robot is hanging out here, right? And the astronaut is somewhere standing there with him, right? And you've already made an astronaut, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. How do I copy it?
I'll show you. But first, right now, what I want you to do is, I want you to start drawing this thumbnail. Okay? I want you to start thinking like this. Right now on your piece of paper, I want you to start thinking of your environment, what you are thinking, right? Like how I created these couple of ideas. Okay, cleaner robot is cleaning. Okay, this guy is getting into the spaceship, or this guy is just on a planet and in the distance you can see Earth, right? And this is stars everywhere, right? And here is
But how should I draw the stars?
just dots. So right now express yourself. Okay, we are not going to, there's nothing right and wrong in your drawing should just be clear to you. Okay, that that you have said, okay, यहाँ पे stars है. So when you are actually making it, okay, there are stars there, right? It should be very clear to you. Okay, it may not be fully clear to someone else, and that's also fine at this stage, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how to make the Earth's wavy lines.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh,
So I thought of an idea
hmm.
to go to get a big UV sphere or an that other sphere, and then just take some random squares and paint them.
Very good. And that's what you'll have to do. That's what you'll have to do. So right now, see, Mohana, when I'm asking you to do this, okay, I'm asking you to make a cube square, and in the square, I'm asking you to, okay, think of it. You have your UV sphere. On top of that UV sphere, you just put your robot, and then you put your astronaut. And this also is an idea. And this is all you have to do. But I want you to start with the drawing. Okay, so Divyan, Ashwin, go ahead, do it. Ashwin,
In our notebooks,
yes,
need
in
to
your
do it.
notebooks, in your notebooks. Okay, and
Can I do
see,
it in a sleeping format?
sleeping format. What is a
Yeah,
sleeping format?
like
Yes,
place.
yes. So put landscape. It's called landscape. Yes,
Yeah.
you can do it in landscape format, right? Okay. So do this. Okay, it might not be clear, but as you do it, you'll begin to understand, right? Try to imagine what you want to create, right? With your robot. Where is your robot? What is he doing? Okay, who is he helping, right? And from there, you start like how I created very simple imaginary scenarios, right? Think like that and do it. I'll just be back. Okay. All right. So you might feel like your drawing skill is coming in the way. You're not able to draw what you have in your mind, and that's fine. Okay, because like Moana was saying, I don't know how to draw Earth, right? I don't know how to draw the waves of the Earth, right? And that's fine. Draw what you think looks like that, okay? Because you know what you're drawing. Because this stage is just for your planning. This stage is for you to be clear. Oh, okay. In my scene, I need to make a UV sphere. I have to have this astronaut here. I have to have this robot here, and this is my setup, right? As opposed to, oh, this guy is standing in a room, because that's completely different from a guy standing on a planet, right? What you need and what you will draw will be completely different, right? And so it doesn't need to be a master drawing, really great looking. It's just an idea. Drawing, when I'm talking about drawing, I'm talking about drawing as a tool for thinking. I'm not talking of drawing as a masterpiece or artwork. I'm talking of it as a tool for thinking. And that tool right now might feel very difficult for you because you don't know how to draw, or you're still learning to draw and you struggle with that. And that is what I want you to do. I want you to struggle with that, because that will lead to some ideas. That will lead to some workarounds. Like as soon as Moana said, I can't draw the earth, she herself started solving the problem. But I have this idea, right? And that's what I want you guys to do. Yes, Moana.
I'm done.
Ha, wonderful. Show me your drawing. Let me see one second. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a minute so that I can see your screen. Hey, yes, yes. See, the perfect. Yeah, you got it from, of course, from my drawing, right? But this is what it is, right, Moana? Very good. It's so clear, right? You have a robot, you have an astronaut. It's on a planet, and there's this, there's the stars and the sky, and there's another planet in the distance, right?
No, that's Earth.
That's Earth, right? That's Earth. Okay. And so here we
And this is
have.
the moon. This is the moon.
Correct. Perfect. And now, Moana, I want you to. Now, I'm going to go around the room to the others, but you can start doing another drawing as well. Try something else in the same space. Okay. Same direction. You have astronaut in space and this. Try something else. Right? Go ahead. Do that. Okay. Yes, Divyan. Do you have something?
Um,
Are
I
we going
didn't
to do animation?
Yes, we
notebook.
are. We are. We are.
I didn't have my notebook on me, so I'm doing it in a software.
Aha. Acha, you want to
But
share your screen? You have
yeah, I
something?
can
Yeah.
share my screen.
Okay. Go
So,
ahead. Good job, huh, Moana? Moana, you go ahead and try to do something more, huh?
yeah, so
Ah,
I'm
okay.
making a 3D one right now,
Ah,
but this is a 2D one.
yes.
basically the controls of the ship with
Yes.
my robot. I think my robot scale, it can be configured a bit.
Yes,
Since
yes.
I'm going to change the R2's head, I'll make the head bigger and add small tools that interact with the spaceship.
Perfect, perfect, Divyan, perfect. Go down. And now you're
And
trying to visualize that in 3D,
yeah,
right?
making a 3D one
Very,
over.
very good. So he's basically inside the spaceship in front of he's inside the cockpit actually, and there's all the buttons and he can
Yeah.
see through the window and the screen out, the world outside or the space outside. Correct? Perfect,
Correct.
perfect. See, so answering these questions allowed you to come up with this idea, right? Can you see? Right? Till now, we're just making a robot. But as soon as we created these constraints, now there's a story, right? Now, when someone sees this image of this robot inside a cockpit, that someone is going to start telling stories in their mind. What is this robot doing here? Is he going somewhere? Is he piloting it? Is he hijacking it? Right? And so that there itself is art, right? Because art, every person who sees the piece of art has their own interpretation of it, right? All right.
Yeah.
So Ashmin, good job, huh, Divyan?
Thank
Yes,
you.
Ashmin. Do you have a
Yeah,
drawing to show?
I'm almost done.
Okay, sure. Take your time. Okay. All right. So take your time. I want to see your drawing though. Moana, yes.
So I added some more features.
Hmm.
So it's like an animation type. So
Ah.
the astronaut says to the robot, "Look there, there's something interesting over there,
Ha.
like the most and the most important star or something."
Ha.
So then he went over there and got the star.
All right. So they collected something, he explored, and so what you have done is you have told a story right now, right? And this story actually needs a storyboard. Okay, it's like there are multiple things happening. Like the astronaut comes and tells the robot, "Go look there." So we have to have one shot of that, and then the robot looks at that, and we have a shot of the important thing that you're looking at, right? And then both of them a shot, and this guy travels and goes there. By the ways, there is a level 3 also, okay, and in level 3 we are going to make a short film, okay. So we are going to use what we have learned in level 1, level 2, and now Moana has naturally gone to level 3 where she's thinking in story, right, where there is a something is happening and there is a sequence to that. First this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and the conclusion is he went and collected that important thing, right? And so see that is the natural progression. Yes.
Yeah, and then they went back to Earth, and then I'll show that the moon is too far away.
Yeah, see, and so the thread of a story can keep going on. Can you see? Once you start a thread of the story, you will keep adding. You get more creative, more ideas will come. Don't you notice that, Moana? Right? Awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to demonstrate, right? With these kind of constraints, right? It doesn't seem like much. It just seems like thoughts right now. But now you have the power of drawing and you have the power of Blender, where you can begin to bring these thoughts into Blender, begin to build it out and bring your thoughts to reality, right? That
Yeah,
is the
and then
intention. Huh.
yeah, and then can we make the whatever we've thought of in the animation now? Can we make it in at the end of the session
We
too?
are going to start making it from next session. Fifth session, fifth session is today. Sixth session end onwards, and seventh and eighth is all about animation, right? And so to do animation, so what we want to arrive at a simple environment. That is the goal. Simple environment that depicts your robot clearly as to what he's doing, where he is, right? How is he helping? Okay, and a simple little animation. Like right now, Moana has already told her animation. Like we could have just a simple animation of this robot collecting that rock. Okay, and just that, or maybe just the robot turning his head and looking at the rock. Because collecting a rock, we might have to create a hand and all of that. We don't want to get into so much complexity. He can just look at the rock and nod, right, or blink, or turn around, or do some little animation, which we can
No,
easily do, right?
I'll just make the one more like a hand jet, and then it can just suck out things.
Yeah, like a vacuum. Yes, yes. See, awesome. Like there's a pipe coming out of him, and he just puts that pipe on top, and a rock goes in. Kya baat hai, yaar, Moana. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is the kind of ideas. This is a solution, right? I just said hand is a little too complicated, and immediately she came up with a solution, a creative solution, because a constraint that, okay, hand is too complicated, it's not part of our this thing, so that's a constraint. Immediately she came up with the idea, okay, we can use a vacuum. A vacuum will come and pick that up, right? And see, constraints lead to creativity, right? And you got to be free and open to explore any idea. There are no bad ideas, right? There are no right ideas, there are no wrong ideas. There are just ideas that are effective, right? Now this vacuum idea is pretty effective, right? It's pretty effective. You don't have to do much in the animation, right? You just have this little pipe come out and the rock goes in, right? And so we can set that up. So now that you have this thought process, I want you to develop it further, okay? And now I'll tell you what I mean by develop. Ashmin, I'm coming to you right now. Let me see what you have. By the way, it's 11:30. We have to end the session. I'll take 5 more minutes just to orient you to the next part. Yes. Show me,
Wait,
show
let
me,
me
show me.
upload.
Sorry?
One sec.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Wait.
Yeah, yes.
It's like a destroyed city.
Ah,
It's like-
yes,
What?
yes. He's in a destroyed city and he's hovering over. Can you move the book a little this way? What's on the right side? Yeah, what? Oh, that's some building broken or something?
Broken bridge.
Broken bridge. All right, cool. So, and that's pretty clear, right? If you were to finally make this image, right, it will be very clear that this guy is a rescue robot. He is like looking around. So, animation could be he's flying through and he's just looking around, right? And it's this destroyed place, right? Wonderful, wonderful, Ashmin, right? Wonderful work creating that thumbnail also, right? And so now I'm going to close the session. What I want you guys to do from now to our next session, which is on, one second, when is our next session? Is it on Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right. So you have from now one more day and then Tuesday, right? One second. You have from now till Tuesday, right? So what I want you to do from now till Tuesday is think about these 3 questions, answer these 3 questions more clearly, right? You've already done it, okay? That what is your robot doing? Who does he help? What is he doing? And where is he, right? These are the 3 things that we have talked about. And update, modify your robot to match this. Like if your robot is a cleaner robot, add some accessory that shows that he's a cleaner robot. If he is a rescue robot, add some accessory that shows he's a rescue robot, right? Now, I want you to open your thought process a little more and look for some references as well, right? Like look for rescue robot references on Google or Pinterest, right? And see what happens, how do rescue robots look? Right? One of the thoughts are coming to me is that, Red Cross is an international organization, right? And they are present at all disaster sites. And so they have a Red Cross, right? So if your robot has a Red Cross on it, immediately this is just an idea. And the idea is coming from or is pointing towards that don't limit yourself to what you can think. Now that you have this direction to think in, go and reference again. Initially we had a direction of cute robot. That was the only thing, right? So we referenced only cute robots. Now you have another direction, cleaner robot or helper robot or astronaut, space robot, right? Or rescue robot, right? So search things that are related to this. Look at other images. Look at on Google and Pinterest and take all those inspirations in. You might find some interesting compositions, like just to give you an example, Ashmin, you can look at disaster pictures, right? Earthquake pictures, how those pictures are composed, what really shows destruction, right? And how can you easily show it in Blender by not creating too much, right? And so you can look at those, take those as references, right? I'm not going to tell you everything ki kya study karna hai, right? But I'm just pointing you in the direction you should go now, right? You should go in that direction, look for images, look for references and start putting that into your thumbnails. Now see, your first design or your first thumbnail is not always the best. Sometimes it could be the best, right? But it's not always the best. And that's why you want to experiment more. Like you saw, even I didn't stop at the first robot design. I went did another one, then I did another one, right? And as I did more and more, I arrive at newer ideas. right? Better ideas, right? More interesting ideas that I find more interesting, right? So your job is to take your answers to those 3 questions little further, look for references and create this thumbnails as well. So 2 jobs. One is develop your character further, give him more accessories, more detail that is relevant to what he does, right? That is relevant to the environment he's going to be in, that is relevant to your story, right? And the second is develop your story as a thumbnail. If you have the time, start building it in 3D, right? Like Divyan already has a clear idea that it's going to be a cockpit, right? So he can start building the cockpit, building that environment, right? And placing his robot there, right? Moana, you're also pretty clear, you have a planet and all of that. You can start building, blocking that out, right? You can start blocking, placing shapes, right? So this is the work. It's a lot of work, right? From now to Tuesday, but try to get as much done so that we can really move forward in the next session, right? Because I want to get to animation with you guys. So I want to simplify your scenes, get some nice cute scenes that you've created, right? And then let's learn to animate. And since all of you are doing different things, it's all going to be different, right? So it's not one thing that I show you and then all of you copy, right? It's all going to be different. So all of us are going to learn from each other as I help each one of you to do what you're trying to do, right? What story you're trying to tell, right? Okay, everyone clear? Yeah, Ashwin. Heavy session, huh? Too much gyan, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, Moana.
Yeah, so I decided that in the scene that after they find the star, the next frame will be that, and then the next frame will be on Earth.
Wonderful. So here's what I'm going to tell you, Moana, especially for you, okay? And all of you, you can also take up this challenge, all right? Moana already has a story. She already has a sequence of events. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. Now, if you guys, beyond your cockpit scene or beyond your rescue scene, if you have some ideas of, okay, this happens, then this happens, then this happens, imagine these sequences as a comic book, Moana. How a comic book is set up. One frame there's something happened, the next frame there's the same character doing something else, then the next frame there's the same character doing something else in another environment. So as you have these different different things happening, make a comic book of it. It could have 4 images, 5 images, 3 images, whatever, right? Start doing that, right? Develop that, and we'll talk about it in the next session. You are actually doing storyboarding. This is what is called storyboarding, right? And it's really important. It's going to help us in our animation. So if you also, Ashmin and Divyan, you want to take this on, you also can do this, right? Once you have your design or your block out or what what idea you want to do, and if you have some instances or some events that happen in that sequence, in a sequence, right, you can start doing a storyboard, right? And we'll talk about it in the next session. Okay, so 2 things: develop your character, add detail based on the questions. Second, make thumbnails of your environment. So we'll use that as a basis of your 3D scene, right? And you can start building it if you have the time, okay? But at least bring the sketches and your modified character. These are 2 main things that need to be there. What is bonus is you can build the environment, and bonus is you can do a storyboard. Yes, Divyan, last question.
For now, should I only work on my robot or should I also start modeling the cockpit?
No, so you should work on, so that is bonus. Modeling the cockpit, like I said, is bonus for next session. Of course, you will have to do it at some point, but it's not necessary for you to complete it by the next session. What I want you to complete is, I want you to complete your robot, right? So if it's a cleaner robot, whatever, add accessories. If it is a pilot robot, add some accessories that clearly say that this guy is a pilot, right? Like उसको देख के पता चलना चाहिए ये pilot robot है, right? So add those accessories, add something, right? And the second part is the sketch that you are doing of your cockpit, of how it's going to look, that should be complete. Or if there is a story that there's an empty cockpit, then the robot comes, takes its seat, right? Then presses some button and then the spaceship moves. If this is a sequence, then you can storyboard this. These are all bonus exercises, right? What you need to complete is your robot in totality, like, okay, he's this guy and I've added this, I've added this detail to make him look like a pilot, right? And the second is just sketches of that one single environment, ki wo kya kar raha hai, right? These are mandatory. This is what you have to. I'll put it in the group also. What is the mandatory homework? Okay, and the bonus homework is a storyboard or building it out in your cockpit or your environment in Blender. Right? We'll definitely do that in the next session. अगर उसके पहले होता है तो wonderful. Clear everyone? Is the homework too much?
No.
No? All right. Ashmin, I can't tell. Are you excited about it or are you like, oh no, this is too much homework?
I'm excited about it.
All right, all right. Thanks. Okay, guys, end of the session. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Okay, keep sharing your work on the group. Okay, all right. Bye bye.
Bye.